going on, MMA fans? I'm back to do my UFC 88 review video. I've had some technical issues with my computer, got it fixed, good to go, so now I'm back in business. Let's get right into this card. Solid card top to bottom. The main event definitely is going to have some implications. We'll talk about that when we get there. First fight of the night, Matt Brown taking on DHK, Dong Hyun Kim. A lackluster fight for the most part. There were some interesting parts of this fight. Round one, definitely, when DHK had a couple submission attempts, the armbar attempt. Primarily, both guys are trying to stand. Matt Brown actually looked impressive in this fight. Was aggressive, threw a spinning back fist. Had an impressive guard pass, I believe, in the second round, when he actually spinned and passed the guard of Kim. Both guys had some good combinations. And Dong Hyun Kim pulls off the split decision, and I think really what that comes down to is that takedown late in the third round, even though Brown was active from the bottom. But DHK pulls off the split decision, and he is now 2-0 in the UFC. One thing he needs to work on, though, definitely is his cardio, because he was definitely gassed after the first round, and that's something you definitely need to have taking on some of these guys. And if he gets his cardio down pat, that is a dangerous dude, because he's got dynamite in both of his hands. Next fight, Martin Kampmann taking on Nate Marquardt. I picked Nate Marquardt. I thought he was going to win by decision, but I did not see Marquardt coming out with a head kick. Just to the top of that, just enough to graze Kampmann and daze him, and then go in with some of the, as Karsten would say, the beatdown of the month, with beautiful jabs, a right cross, dirty boxing, body shots, and just dropping Kampmann and forcing the ref to stop it. And Marquardt wins via TKO stoppage. He definitely wanted to impress and show everybody that he's still a force to be reckoned with at 185, without a doubt. Next fight, Dan Henderson taking on Rusmar Palhares. One of the more intriguing fights. This was one of the fights I was looking forward to, along with, of course, the canceled Kara Parisian and Yoshiyuki Yoshida fight. And Kara, of course, got injured with his back, so we didn't get to see that fight. But this was an intriguing fight, because you had a guy that was a black belt, 80cc world grappler, one of the best on the ground, against Dan Henderson, who's one of the best Greco wrestlers we have today, besides Randy Couture and Matt Lindland. This fight didn't disappoint. To some, it may have been a lackluster fight. To others, it was a chess match. And those are the kind of fights that I do enjoy, and this definitely was one of those fights where you didn't know what was going to happen. One mistake, and that's it. The fight could be done. Dan Henderson surprised me. He didn't make any really bad mistakes. There was one where he almost got caught in the leg lock that Palhares had on him in the second round, getting slammed by Palhares. But for the most part, Henderson was able to stand, counter, have some good jabs. Late in the third round, right at the end of the third round, to seal the unanimous decision that he ends up getting. Just beautiful shots inside of Palhares' guard, that overhand right into Palhares' guard. And Dan Henderson wins a unanimous decision, his first win in the UFC since way back. He's now 1-2. So congratulations to him. Look to see for more things from him at 185, and it's great to see him get a win. Next fight, Rich Franklin taking on Matt Hamill. This fight pretty much went the way I said it was going to go. Rich Franklin was able to have good takedown defense, was able to punish Hamill when he came in and tried to go for takedowns or try to, clinch with Franklin. Franklin used good leg kicks, chopping Hamill down every round, good body kicks, good counters. Hamill did have a couple good punching combinations and a couple good flurries, but Franklin was able to counter on a lot of those and punish Hamill every time. In the third round, after Franklin has just punished Hamill's leg, punished his body. He throws a body shot, well, not even a body shot, I'm sorry, a body kick, and Hamill just drops straight to the mat, and Franklin moves in, tries to throw, one or two punches just to seal the deal, and it stopped, and Rich Franklin wins via TKO. He looked good in this fight. It looked like the ability to not have to cut so much weight also gave him a little bit more spunk, a little bit more energy. And he's definitely going to be a guy to look out for at 205. So congratulations to him. Okay, on to the main event. Rashad Evans, Chuck Liddell. Both guys come out in the first round, both tentative. Rashad was definitely popping the jab, trying to be, moving away from Chuck. We had a role reversal where we had Rashad being the counter striker and Chuck being the stalker. And we'll see what implications that had later on in the fight. But Rashad was landing a couple good combinations. Chuck had some pretty good counters, hit Rashad a couple good times in the first round, and because he was the aggressor and landed a couple good combinations. Round 1, Chuck. Round 2, Rashad Evans comes out, lands a couple good stiff jabs, a couple good right crosses, and is trying to stay away from Chuck. Chuck's hunting him down, cornering him, and then all of a sudden Chuck comes in with a right uppercut, and then right as Chuck's coming in with the right uppercut, Rashad comes with an overhand right and drops Chuck Liddell cold. Oh, man. The implications this has at 205, A, we're going to see Rashad Evans fight Forrest Griffin. B, Rashad Evans beats Chuck Liddell by knockout. And C, Chuck Liddell might be, contemplating what he does from here. I didn't give Rashad, and I know I got a bunch of comments on my predictions video. What I'll say about this fight is, it's not that I didn't give, or I didn't want to give Rashad enough credit. It's just, you look at a guy that primarily his striking is subpar against a guy that just eats wrestlers and guys that don't strike very well up. But Rashad came in. Rashad looked the best, and when I say this is I think a true statement for Rashad, not only in this fight but just purely in his MMA career. This was the best that he's looked. He looked calm. He looked collected. He looked smooth. He looked like a man on a mission, and he definitely delivered. He dropped Chuck. And wow. So Rashad wins. He's going to be moving on to fight Forrest. The implications, like I said, on this division, Chuck, where does he go from here? What does it do to 205? It definitely tosses some things up. So, wow. This is definitely the upset so far this year, without a doubt. And I look to see more great things from Rashad Evans. It looks like he's finally coming into his own. Finally looks like he's calm and collected. And like I said, look to see more great things from him. Leave some comments, constructive, negative, positive as always. And I will see you guys later. And have a great night.